This video is brought to you by Mubi, a curated streaming service dedicated to elevating great cinema from all around the globe. Get a full month free at mubi.com/Lauren.
See me in the hallway, you know I hit my Dougie. Feel good music, I'm bringing it back. Manning Eli. Manning Eli.
Me and Lisa go way back. Hell's Kitchen, where it's at. First thing she said, it left me dead. They should have held your ass back, cause you look young as shit. You ain't never gonna find you a bitch, but I went to work and I went berserk and I went and found me a hit. Homeland was turned into Domeland, meaning I'm getting dome on the daily. Timmy Tim the next Slim Shady. Leaf that is my girl, refer to her as my Haley.
I got bars. Superstar. This shit is flashy. My shit goes hard.
Timothée Chalamet. Yes. Today I will be ranking every role that boy man has ever played. A lot of you know our history. We do go way back. I just ask that you respect that. No comments, please. Timothée. He's been in 27 films, some short films, some very long films, some very great, fantastic films, some very not, some terrible shit from a butt films. Not his fault. So what we're going to do is we're going to rank them. This isn't tier ranking. I'm just going to go in orders. Also, thank you A24 for the Maddie Supreme merch. Thank you for sending that. And let's get into it, basically. At 28, we have a little film called The Clown. I did not even watch this one because I could not find it anywhere online. This is Timothée's second role he's ever played. He was 13 when he was cast in this role. Well, he is clown. He plays a little clown boy. And for some reason, Norman Reedus, Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead, is also in this. So, I mean, the director, he had an eye for his cast, or whoever cast this. But from the trailer alone, it was a stinker. It was a stinker. At 26, we have his first role in a film ever called Butcher's Hill. Butcher's Hill, what do I have to say? He gave it his all. He did. It was kind of like a Hansel and Gretel story in a way, just like two siblings finding a house and they find all these delicious sweets. And Timothée, well, he acted the shit out of it, because you would think this little boy in the middle of the forest, abandoned, hasn't eaten in days, and you believe that because he just eats so much of those beautiful pastries. And then, spoiler alert, so skip this if you don't want the Butcher's Hill to be spoiled, he gets his head straight chopped off. Just chopped off with an axe. And I believed it, because he was so good at acting that at the mere age of 12. He played, his character's name was Samuel. At 25, we have a film called Loving Leah. Timothée was 14 when he filmed this role. He plays young Jake. The only place I could find this movie was a streaming platform called Xumo. XUMO, so that says probably all you need to know about the movie. Abysmal. Not his performance, but the movie. When Leah's husband Benjamin dies suddenly, Benjamin's brother Jake is stunned to learn he is expected to marry the childless Leah to carry on his brother's name. Jake suggests to it's not even worth saying the synopsis. He had about 2 minutes of screen time. According to my notes, 47 seconds total of screen time. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't even watch the movie. I just watched the scene that he was in, because why would I waste my time watching that whole movie? He plays a young Jake, a young Jewish Jake. He's Jewish. We learn that Judaism is it's a tie within this movie. There's a line delivery in which he is given a necklace by his older brother, and he delivers the line, "Is this a Jewish thing?"
Is it a Jewish thing?
So really great. There's something in the wispiness that he delivers this that got its place at 25 and not 27 or 26. Congratulations. At 24, we have The Adderall Diaries, in which he was 19 when he filmed this one. He plays Danny Vance, the jock. Yeah, Timothée. 19-year-old Timothée Chalamet. He plays a football jock guy. I did forego watching this one as well, as he was only in 2 very small scenes. Cast? Stacked. Yeah, stacked cast. All of my Letterboxd mutuals who watched it did give it a collective 2.1 average rating, so I did forego watching this, like I said, and just watched his scenes. It follows the story of a group of high school teenagers and their parents as they attempt to navigate the many ways the internet has changed their relationship, their communication, their self-image, and their love lives. And it stars Ansel Elgort, and there is a scene in which Ansel Elgort beats Timothée Chalamet's jock to a pulp, and that does not sit right with me, even though it is fictional, because it should be the other way around, except non-fictional, in which Timothée Chalamet actually beats the shit out of Ansel disgusting Elgort. But my God, I was believing wholeheartedly that he was taking those punches for real. He acted the shit out of that in that cafeteria scene. You know, that's he's showing us he's due for a leading role. At 23, we have Worst Friends. Guys, I'm gonna be honest, I did not watch this one either. I just watched the first minute and 48 seconds because that was all he was in. It's a flashback. It has an average rating of a whopping 0.5 stars on Letterboxd. So I like to say that I save time because I'm efficient. I'm in the pursuit of greatness. And when you're in the pursuit of greatness, you can't waste your time on things that waste your time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what can I say for the amount of screen time? The director told Timothy to play a self-conscious nerd who pushes his glasses up 900 times in the span of 2 minutes, and he delivered. I must say, he delivered. At 22, we have The Adderall Diaries. He plays teenage Stephen Elliott. The synopsis of The Adderall Diaries. Writer and Adderall enthusiast, Stephen Elliott reaches a low point when his estranged father resurfaces, claiming that Stephen has fabricated much of the dark childhood that fuels his writing. Adrift in the precarious gray area, it doesn't even matter because he's in it, once again, for about 2 minutes. They put a wig on Timothy that is so jarring. This fuck-ass wig. He looks like Shane from the L Word. I don't even know what to say about this. He's also wearing just a full joutfit, just denim on denim. However, he played a very angry teenage boy, a very rebellious, troubled teenage boy very well. It's basically just quick shots of him taking a crowbar to a car. And he did it really well. So for that, this is at 22. At number 21, we have Love the Coopers, in which he plays Charlie Cooper. I mean, he really sells horny teenager. Really, really great in this. Most likely because he was not far off from the character that he was playing. Warning, jump scare. There's a scene in which his character Charlie and Molly Gordon, his character, they French kiss, but it's not even French kissing. It's literally just them licking tongues in the middle of like a shopping mall for what felt like an eternity. But it was kind of funny. It was funny. His part was silly. He's just a silly kid. I love silly Timothy. Maybe he was a little too silly at some points. There is a scene where he reminded me deeply of Rami Malek with his fuck-ass buck teeth playing Freddie Mercury, and I did not like that. But that's just a me thing, because I really just, whenever I see Rami Malek in those dentures, there's something within me begins to boil. There's also a scene where he says, "Hey Lauren," and that was pretty epic because my name is Lauren.
Hey, Lauren.
20, we have a movie called Spinners. We're stepping back a bit for this one. Timothy was 19 when he played the role of Jace. I think he birthed Marty Supreme here. He birthed the pursuit of greatness character here, because his character is set on being the best spinner, like sign spinner, like for the advertisements that you see on the sidewalk. He's set on being the best one, and he's set on making money because he wants money. Okay, but then I really think he was just playing Little Timmy Tim in this, because that was Little Timmy Tim. That wasn't Timothée Chalamet. Definitely the most screen time he's gotten, as he is the main character of this short film, transforms into something that is just so stinker and so bad and not good. Once again, he's showing us he is due for a lead role in a feature soon. He's just waiting at this point for the call, for the Hollywood call. Hey, Will you be a feature in my feature film?
Hey! Bang, bang, bang.
At 19, I have Intergalactic, which is actually quite a recent movie. It came out in 2022. It's the Kid Cudi animated movie. Timothée just has like a pretty small role in this. He was 27 when he did the voice recording for this. He plays Timothée Chalamet, if you will. And he plays it well. His character, I mean, he doesn't have much screen time, but he plays, you know, pretty much who he is in real life. Just like a kid from New York who plays basketball.
Why were you dating a girl you'd have to call the police on?
And, you know, I love that. I love Timothée Chalamet, and he has a career in voice acting if he wanted to. Yeah. Get him in those animated films. Get him in a Studio Ghibli English dub. I'd like to see it.
Why were you dating a girl you'd have to call the police on?
Number 18, we have a movie called Hot Summer Nights. Timothée plays Daniel Middleton. He got this role when he was 22. Listen, he plays a coming-of-age, horny, head over heels, overly confident teenage boy, as well as one can, frankly. And listen, if I watched this movie between the ages of, 13 and 17, I would have needed Daniel bad. I would have needed him bad in a way that would have set back feminism 18,000 years. There's depth in this role, though, compared to the other roles he's played so far. And I think he does a great job at balancing that moment in our lives when we are in between adolescence and adulthood. This, I think, kickstarted like the coming of age era of roles for him. Hot summer nights, mid-July, when you and I were forever wild. Yes, thank you. Okay, after looking at my list, I take it back. Hot Summer Nights is actually 17, and this next title will be 18, Hostels. They came out the same year, 2017. Timothée plays Private Philippe Desjardins. This movie is about a legendary Native American hating army captain nearing retirement in 1892, and he's given one last assignment: to escort a Cheyenne chief and his family through dangerous territory back to his Montana reservation. Something in my eye. Oh my god. I think I'm having an allergic reaction to pursuing greatness, because I'm always pursuing greatness, just like Timothée Chalamet. And I'm allergic to it because I go at it so hard. Marty Supreme. Yes. Stacked cast. Timothée, we get a little dabble of his French ability.
Pardon, monsieur, mais, capitaine, mais j'ai
because he is, bilingual. You know, this isn't Timothée Chalamet. This is Timothée Chalamet. This is je suis Lorraine, j'habite Caroline du Nord, in États-Unis. J'aime beaucoup Timothée. J'aime beaucoup. Oui. Oui. Most of this movie, he was literally just like sitting on a horse in the background or standing in the background, very, very background. Like he's like just like a tiny little head in the corner, but he's there. He had about 2 lines until his final goodbye. Spoiler, if you don't want to know the outcome of this very minor character that he plays, but he does give a fantastic performance when he meets his demise. And listen, if for some reason you want to see a very, what I believe, accurate portrayal of someone suffering a gunshot wound, a deadly gunshot wound into the chest, I would say reference Timothée in the film Hostels, because he sells the shit out of the fact that he's dying from a deadly gunshot wound to the chest. A lot of y'all are going to disagree with me on this one. At 16, we have Wonka. Okay. I am in the 1% of people that hated. I didn't hate it. Okay. Well, yes, I did. That movie. I did not like a second of it. Timothée was the only redeeming character in it. Like, redeeming in terms of like, I can watch you and not want to like crawl into my seat and disappear because of the cringiness of the humor. He is playing the world is my oyster chocolatier, candy maker, named Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka, flip it over, Marty, Mauser, boom. Yes.
Because if you think about it, Madam Marble, flip it around, Wicked Witch. WWMMWW, Wicked Witch.
We finally get to see him flex those golden pipes.
Hair with pure imagination, living
criticism about the movie. This is a video about his acting, in which he did fantastic. Willy Wonka's eccentric. He's weird, he's odd, but he's lovable. And that's what we get from Timothée in this performance. And I like his voice. It's like not good, but it's like comforting in a way. It sounds like your son singing you a song. I don't have a son, but if one day I have one and he sings me a song, I hope it sounds like Timothée Chalamet. At number 15, we have his performance as Yule in Don't Look Up. What can I say? Hated this movie, even more than Wonka, I think. You know, have you ever met a white dude at a gas station? Shit. That is what he delivers here. His character also bags Jennifer Lawrence, so that's awesome. White boys who look like you work at a gas station, keep your head up, king, because your Jennifer Lawrence is on her way. I don't know, I mean, another fuck-ass wig. Nothing too profound to say, but this will be at number 15.
Oh, I fucking love fingerling potatoes.
Okay, at 14, we are now down to the halfway point. We have 1 and 2, the synopsis. In an isolated farmhouse located in the middle of nowhere and surrounded by a mysterious wooden wall, Zach, Timothy's character, and Eva, 2 siblings gifted with extraordinary abilities, endure every day the wrath of their strict father while witnessing how a cruel sickness lurks their beloved mother. Timmy, my boy, this was his first lead role in a feature film. We've made it so far. I'm so proud. Keeping in mind that this was his first leading role in a movie longer than 10 minutes, and he was in his late teens, also acting alongside of Kiernan Shipka, which I think he did fantastic. He takes us on a vast array of varying emotions as the plot progresses. I mean, this character is going through a lot. There is a scene in particular that sits so unwell with me, in which he is so frightened of his father that he begins to shake and pissance on himself, and you felt that fear so palpably through the screen. I have chills just thinking about it. It was very uncomfortable. Timothy's performance emulates the varying relationships he has throughout this movie and with his family. When he's with his sister Ava, he exudes such childlike wonder and carefreeness. He imbues this youthful joy, as opposed to when he's with the father, in which he makes just a dark shift, and it is disturbing and hard to watch at some points. Listen, if I were a film critic and or a director and or a writer and or anyone in the entertainment industry, I would have taken stock in this boy in 2015, because let me tell you, that stock, well, it would have grown exponentially. Editing Lauren here, it has come to my attention that I skipped over Interstellar, which is one of Timothy's more major roles that he's ever landed, and to this day he says is his favorite role he has ever played. He shows his emotional acting in this very well, in a way that I don't think we have really seen thus far in his career, and it is a bit of a minor role, but the relationship he shows towards his father, which is played by Matthew McConaughey, is very telling of his acting abilities, and I loved him in this. I think he was a fantastic casting choice, and I did just say fantastic again. At number 13, we have a movie that I watched, I believe in like 2019, called Miss Stevens. He plays the troubled and distraught Billy Mittman. This movie is about high school English teacher Miss Stevens, who is stuck at a crossroads in her own life, and it falls on her to chaperone 3 students of hers to a drama competition. Timothy, he plays a troubled fellow, a troubled high school student, weren't we all? Oh God. If high school me had Zoloft, my life would have panned out vastly different. I mean, he plays this role with such ease, this confused, self-conscious, but also a little bold at some points. There's a scene with him and Miss Stevens. Mentally unwell at some points. He exudes such charm and has so much chemistry with the other leads, Lily Reinhart and Lohanthony. Yes, Lohanthony, as in Lohanthony's video of the may his whimsy and gayness rest in peace.
Lohanthony's video of the
Particularly though, this ranked so far up because there's a scene during the drama competition in which he delivers a monologue that when I tell you, when I watched this, I showed everybody this clip of him delivering this monologue on YouTube, whether they were interested in watching it or not. I was just like, I watched this movie the other day. I was like, you have to watch this because this is acting. This like actually brought tears to my eyes. And it's not even a monologue within the movie. It's like a monologue. It's like meta, you know, he's performing the monologue as an actor in the movie. And if I'm being honest, this monologue made me realize that I wanted to pursue acting. I wanted to be in the entertainment industry 100%, and I wanted to act and write and fully pursue creative endeavors. So thank you to Timothée Chalamet for delivering that beautiful monologue. Love you, babe.
You're gonna hear the truth. What you are and what I am.
What am I doing in an office making a contemptuous, begging fool of myself when all that I want is out there, waiting for me the second I say I know who I am? You gotta stop waiting for me to bring them home, Pop.
Whew, okay.
Next up at number 12, we have A Rainy Day in New York, directed by Woody Allen. Timothy is 24 when he lands this role. He plays a character named Gatsby Wells. Gatsby Wells, I think you can tell just by the name what kind of character this is. You know, he is the typical, you know, if this took place in 2025, you would catch him with a cigarette in between the fingers, in between these fingers, his feminist literature, in between this one, a probiotic beverage of some sort, a wife beater, and some nice slacks. That's what he would be wearing, and he'd be sitting at a little table sipping a little espresso. And it would work on me. He has the ability in this to embody romantic but neurotic at the same time. This is kind of the iconic Timothée Chalamet that everyone fell in love with during the day. You know, oh my God, like he's an academic. He had those bodacious, you know, wavy waves of hair. He's playing a scrawny, neurotic, critical, clever New Yorker who's a charmer. And listen, you got me because I would have fell for him. I would. I want to walk around the Metropolitan Museum of Art and Central Park with you. Yes, I do.
I wanted to spend the day with Ashley in the city.
And did you express it by bringing home a whore?
An escort, Mother.
His inflections, everything. There's scenes where he has like an internal monologue / like voiceover narration, and even those exude his early 20s pompous I know everything attitude. We also get Timmy and Elle Fanning, and Elle Fanning and Timothée Chalamet, in my eyes, can do nothing wrong, especially when they are on screen together. At number 11, we have Ladybird, my favorite movie of all time, one of them. He plays Kyle, yeah. Kyle, who is kind of pretty much Gatsby Wells, but like taking place in the late 20 teens. He's a high school guy. He just is in the pursuit, not the pursuit of greatness, the pursuit of, say it with me, pussy. Yes.
I didn't lose my virginity to you.
What? You said you were a virgin.
I didn't, because I'm not. And I haven't lied in 2 years.
Oh, Jesus.
Would I have fallen for him? Yes. You know, we all know the line when Saoirse Ronan's character is like, I wasn't flirting. And then he looks up, he says, I wish you would have. Wish you would have been. Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't flirting.
Wish you had been.
He also just shows his eye acting in this. Timothy does a lot of gazing up at someone he loves, someone he admires, in a way that, ooh, I feel it through the screen. Are you looking at me, Timothy? I think so. Minor role in this, he steals the attention when he's on the screen, in my opinion.
Good girl.
Number 10, we have The King, in which he plays Hal, who will become the next king, Henry VI. Henry VI, I believe that is, in Roman numerals. So he delivers a speech to his soldiers in a battlefield that is so, I get chills thinking about it. He is the king. He delivers the speech with such fervor and power. You really just would not expect that to come out of this little man.
Make it mass! Make it impenetrable! Make it yours! Make it England!
Spittle flying everywhere. He ate up this role. Also, hands up once again for French Timothée.
Vous êtes ravissante.
Merci.
Je ne parlerai plus français.
and also a little British Timothy. He kind of goes back and forth from like an old English accent to like an American normal accent, which is kind of interesting. I was a little confused. I wrote down something very intellectual here. He balances and plays the contemplative and quietness of his character's personality with the assertive, powering role he assumes as king. He birthed Paul Atreides here. He birthed Dune Part 2 Paul Atreides here, demanding the attention of his people. May thy knife chip and shatter for real. There is something I will say about his face. It's a face that's seen in iPhone. You know, this couldn't be taking place in the 1700s or 1800s or whatever, because that face has seen an iPhone. You know, he's seen Kylie Jenner. I don't know if it's his British bloke fade haircut. I don't know what it is, but at number 9, we have his role in The French Dispatch as Zeffirelli. Again, the role of a pompous early 20s college student. He's so silly in this. We get silly Timothée Chalamet back. He's funny. This is a Wes Anderson movie, so it's very, you know, not surface level, because a lot of Wes's stuff isn't surface level, especially his early stuff. A lot of people thought this was very shallow. This is one of my favorite Wes movies. Is it because Timothy's in it? No, actually, I like it, but he's an added bonus. He gives some really good facial acting in this, a lot of facial expressions, and he's just silly. He's just a silly, goofy Zeffirelli.
I'm naked, Mrs. Clemens.
Number 8, we have Bones and All, in which he plays Lee. He was 27 when he played this role. My God, during that scene when Taylor was eating him the fuck up. I ate him the fuck up. When she was eating him at the end, oh, spoiler, sorry if you haven't seen Bones and All by now. The emotional, as well as obviously physical, pain and agony that he goes through in this, it kind of makes me want to gag, but also kind of want to cry, because like it is a gross concept. Him and Taylor, they play these roles so complementary to one another. There's something inherently sexy about cannibalism in the way that it's like, I want to devour you. I want to eat you. I want to consume you. I want you all to me. At a surface level, cannibalism, it's nasty, it's gross, but like they really show like love through this shared inheritance of theirs, their need to eat human flesh, and their connection is palpable and it's beautiful and it's heartbreaking. And there's a scene where they're sitting in a pasture and Timothy's character Lee asks Taylor's character, "Do you think I'm a bad person?" And it's almost reminiscent of a role that we have not touched on yet, a role in Beautiful Boy in which he plays an addict. And it shows how he can portray these two varying addictions, one the need for human flesh and one an addiction to drugs, which we will get into next. It shows that he can portray these two addictions so vastly different. Just a fantastic role. And Luca Guadagnino, you know, he directed the shit out of it. So me, when Timothée Chalamet is starring in a new movie, I ate it right the fuck up. I ate it the fuck right up. I don't fucking know.
I ate him right the fuck up. And it felt fucking great.
As I just mentioned, in number 7, we have Beautiful Boy starring Timothy as Nick Sheff, and his father is played by Steve Carell. Here's the synopsis. After he and his first wife separate, journalist David Sheff struggles to help their teenage son, who goes from experimenting with drugs to becoming devastatingly addicted to meth. Not good. First of all, this movie proves what a good script can create and get out of your actors. Give Timothy a good script, he's going to act his ass off, and we are going to get a fantastic performance, and that is what we got here. The script, beautiful. Timothy truly takes us on a journey with Nick. We experience his ups and downs. He embodies the characteristics of an addict, that of anger, guilt, manipulativeness, self-hatred. I feel like you would have to probably study somebody or speak with many people who have had similar experiences to be able to portray an addict this well. That scene of Nick and his father in the diner booth will always get me. So insanely heartbreaking. There's also a scene, however, of him reading a poem by Charles Bukowski called Let It Enfold You. And for the first time, we see true hope in this character, and it is beautiful. and it's like an exhale. And I think it's one of the most beautiful moments in a movie. And I think his delivery, especially in this scene, especially after all we've been through as the audience, it is one of my favorite scenes ever in a movie. And again, proves that he's something special, Timothée. He can act very well. At number 6, give it up to Laurie Lawrence of Little Women, 2019, directed by Greta Gerwig. Also my favorite movie of all time. I think I watched it 13 times last year. I was going through some stuff. My God, Timothée in this, what can I say? He's Laurie. He's just a boy. He's a boy, and he has his flaws, and we see that. But at the end of the day, he's such a kind soul. 3 scenes that stand out to me. Obviously, the one of him. Joe, I have always loved you. Him professing his love to Saoirse Ronan's Joe.
No.
It's no use, Joe. It's fine, and I waited, and I never complained because I figured you'd love me, Joe. I can't love anyone else, Joe. I only love you.
This raw profession of love to somebody that he's loved for years and years. And it's that feeling that when you love somebody and you just want to scream it and you want to tell them and you want them to be yours, but they don't reciprocate it. My girl Joe might have been a lesbian, who knows? But it's like so painful in that moment that you really feel the pain. He also does this little thing we see in like just many movies of his. He does this little thing where when he's like, his character is disappointed, he purses his lips. He goes like, he does like a little bit of that. That's his thing, and it works. And he does that, and he says, and Joe is like, we'd be miserable together, and I'm never gonna get married. And he said, no, you're gonna get married, and you're gonna live a life, and you're gonna have kids, and you're gonna have a beautiful life, and I'm gonna be here, and I'll watch. Hands pockets, walks away. Beautiful. Oh, and then there's a scene where, it's literally just like, again, the eye acting. He's tying up Florence Pugh's corset, whatever she's wearing, her like shawl, and she says, "Ooh, okay, like how do I look?" And he says,
You look beautiful. You are beautiful.
There's also another scene on the picnic blanket where Florence is like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Looking at you." Oh, it's so charming. Oh my God. Yeah, this is one of his, just a fantastic performance. I can't really picture many other people playing this. I know Christian Bale played it in the original one. Don't know how I've actually never seen the original. But it's like part of me like is so attached to this cast that I know I wouldn't probably like it as much. Okay, so flip it and reverse it. I accidentally said that one too early because that was number 5, but I skipped number 6. Number 6 is Dune, in which we get Paul Atreides. It's the classic story of young boy has to step up and lead a very large group of people, and maybe he has some powers, and an epic sci-fi unravels. Having watched Dune 2, obviously, the stark contrast we see between Paul Atreides in number 1 and number 2 and how he evolves as a character and the character's progression. Oh my God, he really does play a confused, he's new, he's fresh, he's a fresh, he hasn't seen much. I remember seeing in theaters, the scene of him yelling at his mother, played by Rebecca Ferguson, when they're in the tent, and I got startled, I got scared.
You know who you are. You know who you are. Get off me! You did this to me! You Bene Gesserit made me a freak!
We go from like such quiet to like, oh my God, he can be assertive and he can be a little scary and he can play this character who fulfill a very powerful role. And it sets it up for what we see in Dune 2, which we'll get to. Next up, number 4, Call Me By Your Name. Elio. I mean, yeah, who didn't fall in love with Timothée Chalamet during his Call Me By Your Name era?
I guess I'm just a play date to you.
Twink-a-me Chalamet. To experience your first love and to have it be everything and to have it just constantly embody your mind, your soul. Every thought that you have is about this person. It turns out they didn't really reciprocate it the way that you did. You were kind of just a fling for them. That's devastating. Timothée just plays like a puppy dog chasing, I don't know, chasing a bone. Like
Literally chasing a bone, if you know what I mean.
He's like a little duckling following his mama. That is weird because like the age gap is pretty insane, and the person he's in love with is played by Armie Hammer, famous cannibal, bones and all.
I ate him right the fuck up.
So like rewatching it, it's kind of He plays longing very well in this, very similar to his role as Laurie, you know, unrequited love. You know, you'd never think that somebody's simple portrayal of a character can change the public's perception of a single fruit in the way that Elio, played by Timothée, did this. When I eat a peach, peaches, like stone fruits, have always been sexy to eat, but they took this to a new level. And if you know, you know. Horny. His scene with his father at the end, heartbreaking. I mean, fuck, we all know that the credits roll and we see Timothée in front of the fireplace, tears streaming down, snot coming out. You can't help but bawl with him. So this is literally just off the dome, a lot of what I'm saying for these.
Clearly.
We are down to our top 3, and at number 3 we have A Complete Unknown, the 2024 Bob Dylan biopic in which Timothée plays, yes, the titular Bob Dylan. Actually, it's not titular, because if it were titular, the film would have been called Bob Dylan. I mean, shit, I hate a musical biopic. I hate it, but that was Bob Dylan on my screen. And I don't know much about Bob Dylan, but I did look up some videos of him speaking and singing, and my God, that was him. That was him on my screen. And we've never really seen Timothée do up until this point, we haven't seen Timothée embody a real person. He practiced this character, he said, for 6 years to get the voice down, to get the singing down, to get the harmonica down, the guitar down. I mean, he really wants to be a master of his craft, and I think this performance shows that he's going to be one of the greatest actors ever. And if this didn't solidify it, I don't know what to say. His mannerisms, his singing, his talking, the scene of him strumming his guitar, sitting on the bed, speaking with Joan. Again, his eyes gazing up at her. I'm going to quickly show one of my favorite scenes in which he is on live television performing on like a talk show.
No, I'm not trying to steal your spot, Jesse. I was trying to figure out what kind of tuning you were using. I don't think I ever heard it before.
Nobody.
On a man train, babe. I can't buy no thrill. And I think up all night, babe.
He's smoking a cigarette in this, and I don't know, but like he exudes cool. And I think, okay, so for me, like there's this thing, if an actor can like sell like smoking a cigarette well, like if you look cool smoking a cigarette, lighting a cigarette, something, I think that's like a defining characteristic. If you're like a good actor, you can like smoke well on screen, and he does. I've also done so as well. We're like that. That's why we have a past history. Love you, babe. When a scene in this film calls for Bob Dylan to be an asshole, he plays an asshole. He plays a character that you do not like in that moment. But when a scene calls for him to be upbeat, excited, a little rebellious, it's believable. He nails it. Also, Elle Fanning, Timothée Chalamet, reunitation. Beautiful. I love to see those beautiful, beautiful faces and abilities on my screen. And at number 2, what do we have here? Yeah, Marty Supreme. Put that on a Wheaties box. Recently saw this in theaters. He plays such a hateable, likable character. Marty Mauser. He's not a redeemable character, and he plays that well. At the same time, I think when a character is doing things in bad faith and is at their core, you know, a bad person, but you still root for them because they still exude a charm. You see something good in them. I think that is very telling of an actor's ability because, you know, and another actor could have played this in which you just hated him the entire time, but you're rooting for Marty for whatever reason. Maybe it is his whole like And this was like the whole press run, like the pursuit of greatness, like because Marty wants to be like the ping pong champion, you know? Ping pong champion. Also, just down from like a physical perspective, he did bring ping pong tables to every set he was on to prep for filming for Marty Supreme. So like he brought it to the Dune set, he brought it to like whatever set. That is dedication. That shows that he wants nothing more than to play a believable character. Timmy got a little muscle in this because you could see that right arm, oh, it was delivering. He has hit some ping pong balls. His scenes with Tyler the Creator, he's so goofy and fun and loose. But his scenes with Odessa Azion, they're also very aloof and silly, but very, very dear and dramatic at some points. You know, the final scene, again, we are no stranger to a crying Timothy when the credits play. And this one, oh, it got me. It got me. And I know the opinions here are varied. People were like, oh, he didn't deserve that ending. In my mind, he portrayed that he was finally fulfilled and he could move on. Fantastic performance. That's why it's number 2. What can I say?
And you know what? It's not, that's not even...
Just what I need, mama. I've been hell to say more.
You could be the master of your fate, you could be the captain of your soul, but you have to realize that life is coming from you and not at you, and that takes time.
But number 1, we have Dune Part 2. Yes, I think I saw this 3 times in theaters. Chills. I get chills when I think about this. The jump from Paul Atreides in Dune 1 to his performance in Dune 2. The love he shares with Zendaya. The softness. He's the Maldiv. He's just the little desert mouse. That's what he is. But then we see him slowly become something much more evil than the Paul that we met in not even just Dune 1, but earlier in Dune 2, the film. We see his growth as a character palpably on screen. Again, he gives a speech to these people that he's trying to convert to his side. Shit, if I were in that crowd, hey, sign me up. Sign me up, because I would have joined his little cult. You sometimes forget that he is just like 15-year-old boy who was thrown into like fulfilling a whole prophecy and like starting a religion or whatever. Also, you know, of course, a stacked cast, perfect, no notes script. So when you give that to a great actor and just let them do their thing, they're going to do their thing. And that's what Timothée showed us here. This is his peak performance. Like I said, he dedicated 6 years to the guitar, brought that ping pong table onto set, and he learned the language. He learned the Dune language for this. Oh my god, I can't wait for Dune 3. Like, that is going to be my magnum opus. I don't know, like, how it's my magnum opus. It'll be his magnum opus. I don't know why I said it was going to be my magnum opus. In terms of going to the local AMC, it's going to be my magnum opus. I'm already sat. Yeah, I'm already sat. I already got my ticket. Well, with that being said, thank you for watching. Let me know what your favorite Timmy performances are. Please go support my interview show, Post Credits Cafe. This year, we're going to have Timmy on. Don't you worry. I truly believe it in my soul of souls and in my heart of hearts and in my Timothy of Timothys. Here's for the Oscar. I want him to get that Oscar for Marty Supreme. Like I said earlier in the video, memberships are now open for our weekly movie watch live streams. It's going to be epic. I will see you guys next time for my 2025 movie recap, every movie I watched video. Working on scripting it at the moment, but I figured this would hold you over. Something to feed you while you're waiting for the big meal. See you soon. I just want to take a moment to thank longtime supporter of this channel and today's sponsor, Mubi. let me tell you a little bit about them. Mubi is an online streaming service dedicated to elevating great cinema from all around the globe. They have an in-house team of curators that handpick each movie that shows on the platform, and let me tell you, they never miss. Every film on Mubi is bound to invoke something within you. I love to go in blind and just choose a random film that is recommended and just be surprised. They feature films directed by emerging auteurs or seasoned veterans. I recently watched an English/Spanish film called La Cocina. It takes place in a restaurant in the middle of Times Square, New York City. Focuses on kind of the inner workings of the back of house of this restaurant. We meet many faces along the way. As the film progresses, it becomes so anxiety-inducing. It makes The Bear, the series, look tame. We meet so many characters along the way, some more major and prominent in the film's ongoing story than others, but it paints a picture of the immigrant experience in America and trying to find a job and how difficult that is. It highlights the many grievances and roadblocks of being a woman in the workforce, a workforce that is very much so dictated by men. There's also romance and passion imbued in the film. We get my girl Rooney Mara in one of the predominant roles. She can do no wrong. It's shot in black and white. Whenever we go from outside to inside the kitchen, the aspect ratio changes to 3:4, making even the viewer feel claustrophobic and overwhelmed. Overall, I absolutely recommend this movie. Also, just some really nice, beautiful shots of food, and I think food is an art form. You yourself can try Mubi for free for 30 days at mubi.com/Lauren. That is mubi.com/Lauren for 30 days of great cinema. As usual, I leave you with this. Go watch a good movie.